Good afternoon to each and everyone. So we are here uh, to present the sexual reproduction in gymnosperm. So my topic is all about sexual reproduction in gymnosperm. So gymnosperm lack the calyx, corolla, stamens, and pistils, and instead produce flowering consisting of pollen cones and seed cones. Pollen cones are bright yellow, purple, or red and have an axis with a series of scales. Each carrying two pollen sacs. Seed cones are larger, more persistent, with ovulate scale borne in a bract axis. In Pinaceae, two ovule appears as a protor, protuberances on the upper side of a scale with an opening called the micropyle at the end of the pollen grains to enter. So, in sexual reproduction in gymnosperm, uh, it includes the conifers as a fascinating process. It involves the production of male and female cones, so which are the reproductive structures of this plant. So male cones, these are the smaller and produce pollen grains, which are the male gametes. Each pollen grains contains two cells, one that will grow into the pollen tube and another that will divide it into two sperm cells. So the female cones, these are the larger and contain ovules, which will develop into seeds upon fertilization. Each ovule has a megasporium, also known as the nucleus, surrounded by two protective layers. Inside the nucleus, a cell undergoes meiosis to produce four megaspores, only of one which survive and develops into a female gametophytes. So the process of fertilization in gymnosperm is follows. So wind carries the pollen from the male cones to the female cones, a process known as pollination. And the pollen grains germinates on the ovule and grows a pollen tube down into the nucleolus. The sperm cells travel down to the pollen tube and one of them fertilize the egg cell in the female gametophytes, forming a zygote. So the zygote develops into the embryo, which is enclosed within a seed. Then the seed is then dispersed, and if it lands in a suitable environment, it can grow into a new plant. So this process is quite different from what we see in the flowering plants. And the next one is the colonization and development. So pollination occurs in conifers will be initiated in the season before the flowering of seeds. So cones can differentiate from the previous vegetative apices or newly formed axillary primordia. So colonization development is a crucial part of the reproductive cycle in conifers. So the group of gymnosperm that includes pines, spruces, and firs. Here's a simplified explanation of the process. So, colonization, this is the first stage of cone development. So, it begins when the certain cells in the bud of the conifer start to differentiate and form the basic structure of the cone. So, this process is influenced by various factors, including the tree age, its health, and environmental conditions such as temperature and light. And the cone development, so after initiation, the cone continue to develop and grow. In male cones, this involves the formation of pollen sacs that will produce pollen grains. In female cones, ovules are formed, uh, each of which contain a megasporium where the egg cell will be produced. Like what I've said uh, before, so it will contain a megasporium where the egg cell were produced. So maturation. So the cones mature over time which can take 1 to 2 years depending on the species. Male cones release their pollen, which is carried by the wind to the female cones. In female cones, the ovules are fertilized and develop into seeds. So once the seeds are mature, the cones open up to release them. So the seeds can be dispersed by wind, water, or animals, and if they land suitable environment, they can germinate and grow into a new tree. So this process is a beautiful example of how nature ensures the continuation of the species. Then, um, there are also the two basic reproductive cycle have been described in the temperate zone conifers. So, the two basic reproductive cycles that have been described for temperate zone conifers are the 2-year cycle and the 3-year cycle. So, the 2-year cycle, this is the most common reproductive cycle among temperate conifers. In this cycle, the reproductive process spans over 2 growing seasons. So, the cones are initiated in the first year, but they don't mature and release their seeds until the second year. So, this is a cycle is found in species like the Norway spruce and most other spruces, pines, and firs. So, these cycles are a part of conifers' adaptation to their environment and ensuring their survival and propagation. And the next reporter will be Mark Antiri. And that would be all. Thank you.
So, good morning everyone. Good morning sir. I will continue the discussion of Miss Libby Mata, pollination and fertilization. So, ang kining pollination is mahitabo ni siya pag ang anter ng stamen ay moabot gani siya sa stigma of the ovary, maong mahitabo din ni siya ang pollination. Ang fertilization pod kay mahitabo ni siya pag ang sperm og ang ovum kay nagfuse gani, maong mahitabo po ni ang fertilization. So ang kalahian na nila kay ang pollination is isa po ni siya ka physical process, tapos ang fertilization is kuno siya biochemical process and has a genetic basis na siya basis kay bali. So ang so production and shading time vary among species and years, with Scotch pine pollen shading occurring during a 5 to 10 days period in Finland. So ang production sa pollen og ang pagtagak ana is lahi-lahi gani siya, kay na siya seasonal gani na pagtagak, kay nabay uban pod na kahoy is mutagak na siya tibali December diya na yang tingtagak sa iyang mga liso. Tapos ang Scotch pollen ay mahitabo na siya sa 5 hanggang 10 araw sa Finland. Tapos ang kadaghanan ana sa pollen is matagak na siya sa kalagitnaan ng pamumulaklak sa isang taon. So mo ta ko ingon ganina is nagay siya seasonal na pagtagak, kibali karon siya na mubulak, tapos usa pa din na siya kibali December yung pagbulak, tapos mo din na yung pagtagak sa yung mga liso. So ang Douglas fir is kuana siya kanang an evergreen coniferous species po na siya sa sa pine family, kibali marara sila igagaw. Tapos cross pollination occurs in gymnosperm where female flowers are concentrated in upper branches and male flower is in lower ones. So ang cross pollination is mahitabo ni siya sa gymnosperm kung saan ang ang babae gay na bulak kay naa sa kuan na siya sa taas, tapos ang lalaki is naa siya sa ubos sa sanga. Kadaghanan sa gymnosperm kay maggawas gani sila og sugar pollination drop to micropyle. Mao na siya ang kuan, mao na ang mupuno sa macular canal pag once na madawat na niya ang kuan sugar pollination. So ang kanang mga butil guys sa kuan pollen kabalo man siguro magbutil is ang butil mao na siya ang kanang iyang mga liso-liso gani kay mo germinate na siya para magbuo og kuan pollen tube na mudako paubos og kuan na siya, tapos mo kuan na siya, mo tunga na siya sa kuan sa lawas sa kahoy og kanang sa sanga kay bali magtunga na sila sa murag tungaon nila ang kuan ba kanang vitamins kay bali nga na. Tapos ang kuan bunga gani ana niya is may tabo na siya sa kuan pumugit kumulang 13 na kuan adlaw pa. Pagkatapos ana is modern na ang kuan, modern na siya ang kuan pollination of pine. So polyembryony, ang polyembryony is a condition in which two or more embryos develop from a single fertilization. So ang kuan polyembryony is example ana is kuan orange, lemon, groundnut, mango, onion and etc. So example ana niya kana ganing kuan sa isa ka liso is duha gani kabuok ang mo tunga gani or tulo ingana gani mo na siya ang kuan embryony. Example ana na diri kita na ko mo ni siya ang example na sa isa ka liso is dagan kay siya ni turok mo na siya ang embryony. Tapos Pinaceae, a group of gymnosperm often have multiple embryos. So ang Pinaceae is isa na sila ka grupo na gymnosperm, mao na sila ang kasagaran kuan daghan og kuan polyembryony, mao na siya ang kuan. Tapos nasa na sila duha ka types of polyembryony. Simple embryony where additional embryos result from fertilization of multiple archegonia, and cleavage polyembryo where several embryos arise from the splitting of embryonal cells of a single zygote. Mo to ang kuan two types of polyembryony. So kini sila is may tabo ni sa kuan Pinaceae is, tapos ang kanang Pinaceae is kuan ni siya kuan ni gyapon na siya kahoy na siya na kuan bilong na siya to a large group of evergreen coniferous. Parehas ra sa atong kuan, parehas sa atong Douglas coniferous. Maura na sila ato kuan na sila mura na sila agaw kay bali ba o silingan ba, maura na sila. Tapos pagbunga ana gani niya kay sa babae na kuan kasagaran ana kay kadaganan ana is kana nagayeng matured. Kasagaran sa mahitabuan ng kuan polyembryony kana gayeng matured na liso, mo na siya ang kasagaran tagduha ang kuan, tagduha ang mutunga sa iyang kuan seedling. Kasagaran na mo na sila ang kana pong dagko gay liso. Example anang sa mangga is makabantay ba ta duha ka buok ang kuan na duha ka buok ang seedling mutunga kay tungod ana kanang duha ka buok ana is kana gay liso is dagko baya mo ang tagduha ang mukuanan na tagduha ang mutunga na kuan seedling kay kuan dagko man na sila. Example na man siya. So Parthenocarpy, ang Parthenocarpy is kuan siya is the product of fruits without the fertilization of ovule. Fruits like banana and figs are developed without fertilization and do not produce any viable seeds. So kini gani sila is kuan na sila kanang kana ganing mga prutas guys parehas na sa banana kanang di guys siya mo produce og kuan liso. Mo na sila kasagaran sa kanang cucumber ingana mo na sila. Tapos ang kuan ang Parthenocarpy is an development of unpollinated kun na kana ganing walay sulod na liso makita na siya sa kuan Aves sa ano to? Sa Aves, Juniperus, Larix, Pisia, Taxus, Tuha, Chamia Sifaris, Cryptomaria, Pisiuda, Soga, and Choga. Kini sila is mga rare gani sila na mga species og napo na sila ikuan 0.40% lamang na mga Scotch pine cones completely aborted ovules and out of 76 red pine cones having a development ovules. So that's all. Thank you. And the next reporter is Queenie Costan. Thank you po.
I will continue the discussion of Master Canteri. So I will proceed my topic about the duration and timing of cone development. So the development of gymnosperm cones in the temperate zone can be compared to reed pine and Douglas fir. Reed pine cones differentiate in one growing season but are not visible until late May or early June. So ang cone is nagdevelop ni siya in plants, nagikan siya sa gymnosperms like pine trees, mostly tree grows in cold areas. Example ani Baguio City or States is one of a particular area na dominant ang pine trees, nagitawag siyang kahoy nga walay bunga. So it means nagkuan siya consist siya og cones, then nagkuan sab siya og reproductive structures like a duration and timing growth ni siya na cones ang gitawag through sa nagkalain-lain nga species. It means nagpalambo ni siya sa pollination o pag-mature sa seeds. And then the next is and also duration and timing and cone development. So the cone resume growing in the spring of the second season, reaching a temperate length by early July. Of Douglas fir cones studied in Corvallis, Oregon have a 17-month development cycle. So including this nag-exact ni siya of duration and timing can be influenced by the environmental factors such as climate, temperature, and photoperiod or a daylight. In short, kahinay sa adlaw. So ang reproductive cycle is nag-consist ni siya og nagkalain nga tonom og naka-adapt ni siya og chances through successful processes ang reproduction in specific habitat. So the next is increase in size and dry width of cones and seeds. So the largest increase in size and dry width of cones in pines occurs the whole year of development. First year conelets of red pine in Wisconsin were only a 40th the width of 1/30th and the volume and 1/3 the length of mature cones at the end of the second year. So in magdiretso na ko og explain how about aning increase in size and dry width of cones and seeds. So ang pasabot ani is pagdako or kagamay sa cones and seeds is naghapon siya proseso. During the cone development is naghapon siya undergo through the growth and maturations. So it means mo resulta og pagdako sa isa ka butang through the factor influenced by the nutrients availability or kantidad sa kaning needs or a supply sa tubig. So they are environment conditions. So ang cones is nagmature siya through dry wheat. The form of seeds, it refers to plant materials without a water content. So ang seeds is nagproduce gapon ni siya og cones. Then nag-involve siya og nutrients such as carbohydrates, protein, and fats. Then ang growth and dry wheat is nag-result gihapon ni siya og cell divisions through the elongations and accumulations of various within the cone tissues. So and this in this processes is nag-consist of another through genetic factors and the environment causes to ensure that maayo ang ihang paglambo sa isa ka seeds. So they in summary is growth and cones is nagsunod-sunod ang pagkadako sa true dry wheat and then involve kumbaga komplikadong proseso in true physiological and biological processes with the environment factors nga naay mahitabo nga changes. So that's would be all. The next reporter will be the Cherel Salazar.
So, best morning everyone. I will continue the report of Miss Queenie Costan. So, my assigned topic was all about maturation of seeds. Harvesting seeds when they show maximum germination capacity is crucial for plant propagators due to high cost of seed collection. Physiological maturity occurs when seeds have reached their maximum dry weight, allowing them to be dehydrated without long viability. Seeds with fully developed embryos and endosperm are considered morphologically mature but may not physiologically mature. Seed collectors judge maturity by various indicators, such as color changes in cones and fruit. The degree of embryo development can also determine which cones should be collected, provided the seeds are not immediately extracted from the cones and stored under conditions that favor continued ripening. In some conifers, the germination capacity of seed is very high, well before the cones are matured, as determined by color, weight, volume, specific gravity, or moisture content. Some researchers have studied the amount of chemical constituent of seeds that are relatively stable during the early part of the ripening season, but change appreciably as seed maturity is approached. However, determination of biochemical change during seed ripening have not been widely accepted as a reliable test for seed maturity. Maturity of pine seed have been correlated with the conductivity of seed leachates and leakage of inorganic phosphorus and carbohydrates. Non-germinable seeds have higher conductivity and leach carbohydrates than germinable seeds. So when we say maturation of seeds, is isa na siya ka-importante na period sa isa ka plant life cycle. Kay tungod ana is makaproduce na pud og lain plant then or lain species, kay kana is naga-distribute man na siya og offspring. So ang problema lang is kung makita gali sa plant propagator na kanang paspas gud ang pagtubo sa isa ka puno ay sa isa ka seeds is mas madak-an gud sila og kanang gasto sa pagkolekta sa seeds. So ang physiological maturity is mokor na siya kung ang seed is ma-reach na gud niya ang kanang iyang dry weight. So when we say physiological maturity is ma-apply na siya only sa fruits or sa fruit veggies. Kay ang physiological maturity mga good is diha nato makitan kung pahinog na ba ang kanang isa ka prutas or kanang na-overripe na. Tapos, ang dry weight food is mao na siyang kanagong normal na kabugaton sa isa ka tanom, kanang wala na kanang ang tissue good niya is kanang mauga na or kanang wala na ang mga water na sa isa example sa leaves, kanang wala na dira ang mga tubig kanang ka example kanang sa plant press like that So after ma-remove ang tanan tubig sa isa ka tanom or tanan nauga na ang kanang tissues na nasa isa ka tanom, is mo na din na siya ang gitawag na dry weight. Ang morphological maturity po is nag-base na siya sa growth or process sa isa ka tanom. Para madaling masabtan is ang morphological maturity is mo na siya ang makita nato ang physical development, developmental growth sa isa ka tanom during sa iyang childhood. So ang kanang morphological maturity is example sa isa ka tanom is na gitubuan na siya branch, mo na siyang gitawag na morphological maturity. So makita na to siya physically, while ang kaning physiological maturity is makita na to siya physically but dili sa kanang structure sa isa ka puno kundi sa kanang bunga niya. Kaya ang physiological maturity is just like what I've said while ago is karang makita na siya sa mga fruits kung pahinog na ba ang isa ka prutas or veggies or karang na-overripe na ba siya. So ang seed is the essential of the reproductive cycle of plants. Maka-provide na siya og kanang propagation og maka-provide po na siya og continuation para sa isa ka species. Flower senescence typically ends with abscission, which can involve the entire inflorescence, florets, or parts of the flower. Shedding occurs when petals are shed, but cell division usually doesn't precede it. Fruit abscission sites vary among species and between immature and mature fruit. Immature apple fruit at size at the juncture of the pedicel and spore, while sweet cherry and pistachio fruit at size between the pedicel and pedicule. Mature plum, sweet cherry, sour cherry, avocado, orange, and mango fruits at size at the base of the fruit. Fruits separate from their stalks after forming them, and shading is common in forest trees like willow, poplars, basswood, black locust, and elm. Cell wall changes leading to fruit separation include hydrolysis or dissolution of the middle lamella, breakdown of the cellulose cell wall, and mechanical breaking of dead elements. So when we say abscission, muna siyang natural detachment of parts of a plant, typically dead leaves and ripe fruit. So when we say senescence pod, is muna siya ang final stage of plant develop, which plant is kuhaon ang mga valuable building blocks nagikan sa leaves or sa dahon or sa lain part sa tanom during sa growth. So ang naitulo ka building blocks building blocks of plant growth. Ang pinakauna is nitrogen, ang pangduwa is phosphorus ug ang potassium. So when we say inflorescence pod, is mo na siyang complete flower head of plant including stem, stalks, bracts, and flowers. So typically para yun sa makasabot is mo na siya ang arrangement sa flower diha sa plant. So ang florets pod is mo po na siya ang gagmay na siya ng mga flower na nag-combine na nagdikit-dikit para makabuhat og kanang murag ulo sa bulak. Ang best example ana is ang cauliflower o ang broccoli. So makabantay ta sa once na ang plants is adult na is kanang magkahinay-hinay gyud og kanang pangatag ko diya leaves without kanang needing gud sa kanang force sa tao or kanang gamay ra gud na hangin is matagak na gud na din na siya. Mo na siyang gitawag og abscission. Tapos kabantay pud ta kanang mga immature gud na mga prutas like for example kanang sa guyabano gud, di ba daghay mga tagak na kanang murag mga kanang kung iyang murag circle murag bulak pa man siguro na. Kanang padulong pa mubunga ba. Makabantay ta mga tagak siya tungod kay kana is na prutas ay kana na kuan kind of katong na nga tag is mga immature to na mga kuan na mga prutas kanang wala to dito na kuan og walang nutrients good nagikan sa wala siya na proper good na distributan og siya nutrients. So mo to diretso ra siya mga tagak bisag dili na to kanang gamitan og force. Tapos ang kuan po nato is mabantayan ko nato ang kanang mga puno na kanang magkatigulang na is daghanay nagoy kanang mga stem or mga branch niya ng mga tagak kana mo na kuan na siya natural na siya detachment kay tungod na po na sa katigulangon kibali sa puno. So when we say pedicel is mo na siya ang that attaches an individual flower within an inflorescence. to the main axis of the inflorescence. So ang kung sa kuan pa para dali masabdan, ang pedicel is mo kinda siya sa stalk na naga-support sa single flower while ang pedicel is kuan na siya kanang main stalk na siya na nag-support sa kanang tibok good na flower. Kung sa kuan pa is kanang isa ka buligan gud sa flower mo na siya ang pedicel. While ang kanang kuan ang spores is mo na siyang short, slow growing stem with greatly shortened internodes that can bear leaves, flower, and fruit. Later is insert na mo na siya sa amo ang video sa end sa amo ang video insert na mo ng mga picture para mas masabtan lang ninyo dili na mo magkuan kung unsa gyud postura ana. So amo ra kani insert. So when we say cone pod is mao na siya ang ovate shape containing the reproductive organs of certain or basta na cone is mao na siya ang mga non-flowering plants. For example, nga ang best example sa cone is kanang kuan pine tree. So, in summary of my topics, obsession of reproductive structure, it explain how plant grow ug unsay padulngan sa plants once moabot na siya sa senescence niya. So, para sa ako giin ang senescence is mo na siyang final stage sa isa ka plant development, bali na reach na niya ang iyang pagka-adult. Usually, di ba, kung tigulang na ang mga puno is daghan ni changes may tabo na natay makita ng mga dead barks. So, ang dead barks is mo na siya mga patay ko na nga panit na makita nato na nangalangkat na. Tapos, ang kinipod na topic is nag-explain ni kung kanus mahitabo ang kanang obsession sa isa ka plant, especially sa reproductive structure sa plants. So, that's the end of my topic. That's all. Thank you. And the next reporter, Miss Biami Aguaviva.
Today, the topic that I will discuss to you is about abscission and crop yield. So, dili na ako ni basahon, sir. So, ako na lang ni explain until maghuman. So, abscission and crop yield. So, abscission, the shading of flowers, buds, and immature fruits is a natural process that occurs in plants. While heavy pruning may not always result in a large crop of fruits or seeds, it is important to understand the role of abscission in crop yield. Abscission is a vital mechanism that allows plants to allocate their resources efficiently. By shading unnecessary or damaged parts, plants can redirect their energy towards the growth and development of healthier and more productive structures. This process helps plants maintain their and more productive structures. This process helps plants maintain their overall health and optimize their reproductive potential. Abscission also helps plants cope with environmental stressors. During periods of drought, excessive heat, or disease infestation, plants may shade their flowers, buds, or immature fruits as a survival mechanism. By sacrificing these structures, plants can conserve water, nutrients, and energy, ensuring their own survival and increasing the chances of producing viable offspring in the future. However, it is important to note that excessive abscission can have negative consequences on crop yield. If plants experience abscission at a critical stage of fruit or seeds development, it can lead to significant yield losses. Factors such as improper pruning techniques, nutrient deficiencies, or pest infestations can trigger excessive abscission and hinder the overall productivity of the crop, while heavy pruning may not always result in a large crop of fruits or seeds. The process of abscission plays a crucial role, resources more efficiently, enhance fruit development, and cope with environmental stressors. However, it is important to stake a balance and avoid excessive abscission to ensure optimal crop productivity. Understanding the impact of abscission on crop yield can help farmers and gardeners make informed decisions regarding pruning techniques, and resource management, ultimately to more successful harvest. So that's all, sir. Thank you.